Hi, this is John Boneck, the Director of the Kingdom Business Association. I'm here today with Tim Flachman, who's the head of our local chapter of the Kingdom Business Association. We're in Fort Mill, South Carolina, as many of you know, at Morning Star Ministries. And we want to do a series of blogs over the next several weeks that talk about starting KBA chapters and what that looks like. But before we can talk about all the things that we're doing and how some of these things might be things that you could also be doing and you might like to really do that could really help you, we thought one area to start with was on the subject of initiative, and this comes from something that Tim has had on his heart. He's even written about that we're looking at publishing in some way. So Tim, we'll just call this initiative starting a KBA chapter. Let's just talk about initiative.
Yeah, well, what we were talking about earlier too was, initiative is one of those things that I think is sorely lacking in the body of Christ, and often cases, we've been trained as Christians to not do anything until our pastor approves it.
You'll be passive, yeah.
Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talked about circles of influence. And what happens with us in the church oftentimes, and I think a lot of you are going to relate with this, is we get focused on the organization, the church. What the church, why can't the church just do this?
I wish the pastor would recognize us as business people or start a business group in the church.
Yeah,
so why doesn't the pastor do that?
Why wouldn't the pastor do something to minister to business people in our congregation?
Yeah.
Well, if every time you do that, you focus, and you can do this in your job, you can do this in every place. Every time you look at the big organization and think, why wouldn't the organization do this? It leads to frustration, and if you let that simmer, will lead to bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
But if you focus then, okay, the organization, I can't get the organization to move. I don't have influence over the organization. The organization's bigger than me,
right?
And I can't move them. I can move me. And so if we'll focus then...
I have influence over me.
I have influence over me. I can decide what I can do.
Right.
And I can decide that I can start a business organization. And there are a number of you, I'm going to speak this prophetically, there's a number of you that are designed and built and have a desire in your heart to start KBA chapters or big business organizations in your community. You've been waiting for somebody to do it. It's on your heart. And the Lord's saying to you, it's on your heart because it's for you to do. It's not for you to wait for somebody else to get it. It's your passion, your desire. You go do it. And you have the influence. And I know from business, my whole history in business, it goes through this thing where the Lord shows me something I'm going to do 25 steps away from today, but all I can see that I can possibly do is this one step that is so small it seems insignificant. So you may have a vision to have a business ministry that ministers to all the business people in your community, and you want this business group with 150 people showing up every time, but all you have today is a buddy of yours that's in business that really you like to get together and talk with about business. And from there, that's the one step you have influence to do. If you'll take the step with that one step of influence that you have authority to do, the Lord will build on it and give you further steps. So taking that influence, and that's a biblical example. We can look at the woman with the issue of blood.
Yes.
She was there bleeding, and if she would have asked the
religious leaders,
the
Pharisees,
can I go touch Jesus to get healed, or can I touch somebody and let them heal me? And according to the law, she wasn't supposed to touch anybody when she was bleeding.
Yeah.
But she took initiative. She went after it, and she went after Jesus. She even broke the rules. But I'm not suggesting you break the rules. All I'm suggesting though is that sometimes, it's what Rick says around here a lot of times is it's easier to get forgiveness than permission. Which means if you're looking for permission, if you ask somebody for permission, they might turn you down.
Or it'll take many years through all the channels and all the committees and everything to have it happen that by the time it happens, you've lost the vision.
It's not really mostly about getting turned down. It's more about all the processes that it takes to get permission. Yeah. It's better to have initiative and go run for this thing. Yeah. Go after it.
Now you spoke. You have you've had two businesses. One was a point of sale business that you built. You sold, you've come here to work at Morningstar doing web development or SEO optimization with the Morningstar website, and you actually have your own second business that you're doing with SEO optimization.
Right.
So you do that. You don't know what the end game is, but you, in order to start the second business, you had to take a step.
Right.
You had to have initiative, and we talk about in this nation more than 50% of hiring comes from small businesses. Well, those are just us types who saw something, had the liberty and freedom to do it on our own, and we started businesses, and it's been the very backbone of the American economy. This can also be the backbone of the Christian economy as you start your own KBA chapter.
Right.
As you meet with others, you will see God move. You don't even know. I know. I'm crying. I know what will happen when a prophetic word comes to you from a brother or sister, when you get a creative idea, when you dare to take initiative because the Spirit's been speaking to you. When you dare to take initiative, big things are going to happen in your life. So we're going to stop this blog just with this word. We are challenging you. Take initiative. This week, call somebody. Take a first step. Say, I just want to meet and talk about business with you. I want to pray with you and just share some ideas. And let's just meet for an hour. We can meet for breakfast. You set it up. Think of a person or two. Meet with them in a focused conversation, a focused time, and see what God will have for you planting that first seed to get to the much larger thing in the future. In some of the future blogs, we're going to talk about what happens as you've started working together with some others. Some things that you can do, some things you can do for the church, some things you can do for others, how you can help each other as you're united in a chapter type atmosphere. So Kingdom Business people, we love you. God bless you today. Thank you, Tim.